Let me formally start this webinar for Women's Day and welcome all the women and everybody who is, attending this session. Is really very important for us that everybody should contribute their say, what they think about this day. So just to formally start this session with, I would like to welcome Maria Veneke Ylikomi, who is the General Secretary of the Institute of International Peace Leaders and the country director for Sweden. She has actively participated in IIPL events such as a conference in Italy where she addressed topics like sustainable development and climate change. Her leadership contributes significantly to IIPL's mission for promoting peace and international cooperation. So let's welcome Maria and over to you.
Yes, thank you very much for this introduction. And thank you to all of you for joining this session today for the celebration on International Women's Day, 8 March 2025. I'm truly grateful and blessed to be speaking here today, and I look forward to listening to all of you. Yes, like Hira said, I have been working with the Institute of International Peace Leaders for some years now, since 2021. And during this time, I have really learned a lot. So I would like to take the occasion to express my sincere gratitude to the whole organization and to Mohammed Atta, your women, for standing up for gender equality and for your trust and support. It really means a lot. And thanks to all the IIPL team for standing up for both gender equality and peace. It is indeed not an easy task to stand up for peace during these challenging times, but I'm very glad that we are doing this together. And for those of you who are new to the organization, Institute of International Peace Leaders, I'm not sure who is new in the organization right now, but we welcome you all and we are looking forward to collaborate with you for peace and for the environment and for human rights and for women's rights. And the Institute of International Peace Leaders stands as a beacon of hope in the realm of peace building and global harmony. And IIPL seeks to foster an understanding of the root causes of conflicts. And we try to find solutions to these conflicts that prioritize human rights, justice, and equality. And we work in different ways to raise awareness about the SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals, and the IDGs, Inner Development Goals, which is a framework which shows the skills that we all need to be able to reach the Sustainable Development Goals all together. And we also promote environmental sustainability and nature conservation because we strongly believe that now is a time for us all to come together for the protection of the environment and the planet. And we also promote intercultural dialogue and interfaith harmony because this is of great importance for a peaceful society and a peaceful world. So with these words, I would like to leave the floor to all the amazing, strong women in this room. And I'm really looking forward to listening to you all and also collaborate for peace and women's rights in the future. Thank you very much and happy International Women's Day.
Thank you so much, Maria. It's a very pleasure to have you as a um, floor opener and happy International Women's Day to everybody. I request everybody to give their introduction in their chat box so everybody knows that who is attending this session and we can, connect later on. So let's start the session formally with our panel one, where we have Vera Paja, who is IIPL Global Peace Ambassador for Italy and Albania. Then we have Dr. Mishal Sikandar, who she's a consultant pathologist, director and CEO of Mishal Diagnostic Center. Then we have Patricia Kabia, Global Peace Ambassador for Sierra Leone. Then we have Farzana, she's an associate professor, writer, and IIPL Global Peace Ambassador for Azerbaijan. And then we have Anand Joy, IIPL Global Ambassador for Nigeria. So the panel one is going to be speak about empowering women for the global leadership, and of course women in politics, shaping how we can shape global policy and advocacy for more equal future for women. So I'll request if Vera Paja is in this session. Okay, so Dr. Mishal, we start with you. Um, if Dr. Mishal, if you're here, can you unmute yourself?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. So, Dr. Mishal, welcome to the webinar, and we are just about to start the panel one. To start with, you can speak now.
Okay. Thank you. Firstly, I'd like to thank you all for hosting this wonderful event, and what an absolute pleasure to celebrate this Women's Day with all of you, the Youth and Women Development Organization, am I right? And the International Peace Leaders Organization. And firstly, I'll introduce myself briefly. I'm Dr. Mishal Sikandar. I'm a consultant pathologist, and I'm running pathology lab since past 7 years now. And pathology is a very crucial domain of healthcare. Basically, we perform the tests on body fluids and the blood and human tissues, and we provide the diagnosis to physicians and surgeons. And based on those diagnoses, they treat the patient further. So it's a kind of backbone of modern healthcare. So nowadays, women are just breaking barriers, and they're at the top of the leadership, whether it be science, whether it be medicine, whether it's engineering, whether it's education or business or anything. So I think empowering women is not just about encouraging them and giving them opportunities. It's also about, recognizing the immense talents they have, and also providing them the resources to fulfill them and to make them successful. And in this regards, I would also like to share something that I'm also part of an international business opportunity. It's a forum that's called Power Eagles, and it basically, teaches you the affiliate digital network marketing. So this is the era of digital marketing, and what better than to empower a person by teaching them the digital skills? So this platform of Power Eagles is, empowering a lot of women by teaching them uh, and giving them lifetime membership and mentorship about the digital skills, digital marketing, graphic designing, content writing, and communication skills on top of all. And, it's empowering them to earn themselves and be the business owners. So I think it's about time that we recognize this, that the women have a lot of talent. They are no less than anybody, and they have wonderful, amazing leadership qualities. And definitely, when we uplift women, we uplift the world. So happy Women's Day from my side to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Mishal Sikandar. It's a very pleasure to have you here. So we will move to our next panelist, Anand Joy. She is IIPL Global Peace Ambassador for Nigeria. Hi, Anand. Can you unmute yourself? Thank you.
Yeah, hi. Good morning. Greetings from Nigeria. My name is Joy Aina. I'm a licensed marketer, media personnel, advertiser, public relations consultant. Um, I work for myself and I also work for the government for a tertiary teaching hospital here in Nigeria. So as their public relation officer. It's actually a privilege for me to be on this platform this morning. And I must congratulate every woman out here. So once again, I say Happy International Women's Day. I'm grateful to the leadership of for allowing me to lay my voice. I won't be making much introduction, and I'll just be going through straight to the point. Women in politics, case study of Nigeria and Africa at large. Nigeria being the largest Black populated nation in, let me just say the world and Africa, it is perceived that we are the giant of Africa, and we over 100+ million women. Yet, the percentages of women involved in leadership and politics has actually been very low. In the parliament, we have even in the parliament, according to the National Bureau of Statistics, in the parliament, we even still have less than 7% women who are represented both in appointive and elective position. This calls for concern as a woman. It's gladding my heart, and also it makes my heart feel bad. Recently, there's a global case or a national case going on where a senator, a female senator, has just been suspended. Even the little ones who have even have been able to make it to the national, into politics, they are still being marginalized. They are still being silenced. We feel that in Nigeria, politics, governance has become a male-dominated field. Even the few women who found themselves to even go out of the clay to make a name for themselves in politics and in governance are still being marginalized on a daily basis. Why? Just 2 days ago, a woman was a senator, has just been suspended for a period of 6 months. It was allegedly that she had to speak out because she has been facing even sexual harassment in the parliament. And while we're looking at it as a global peace ambassador, I have been following that incident. I have been following it keenly, waiting to hear what will be their outcome. But we are yet to hear, and then she has been suspended. It is an alleged anyway. Nobody has been found guilty. But as a woman, I was thinking due diligence should be done if there's such, because we are finding it time we're in a society, especially in Africa, where a man feels a woman cannot even cannot head me, a woman cannot make it in governance or politics. It's either you are nickname one thing or she's actually in court. She might actually be sleeping around to have risen to that level, or even if you have not done that, the men are always looking for something or one thing or the other to suppress you. So with today, this call for a global concern, and I'm calling on every woman, every authority, United Nations, if you want, because by the Beijing and declaration of 30% affirmative, if by now most countries in Africa, by 2024, research that was conducted by it means that less than 25% of women, there was a slightly an improvement, which means move from 25% to 26%, which is not good. We're not even yet close to the 30% affirmative, the Beijing Declaration, and we are just few years before 2030, which was the benchmark. What happens? What is happening? I've taken my time to look at several factors that are negating against women in politics, women in government, women in empowerment. Several of those factors are, this is also due to patriarchal factor, which believe that, women in Africa, what is your role? If a whole president a former president will come out and say, my wife belongs to the kitchen, the other room, and what does that mean? Men still feel in Africa that our roles as women are just in the bedroom. You have to marry early, you have to bear children, you have to do this. Not minding that women, we have a lot of potential. That is one aspect. This patriarchal rule, I've come across where a situation where men are asking their female children, you don't have business going to school. You have to go and marry. I'm speaking out today because I'm a Nigerian. I'm a Nigerian woman. I know what the Nigerian and African woman has to go through for you to break out. There are several factors mitigating against you. Oh, you have to marry. We are still confronting the issues of carrying out campaigns against the issues of early marriage. Young girls have been deprived of going to school. How then do we get the empowerment? We are looking at when it is believed that a woman, what is she expected to? You have to get married at early age, then you have children, then you look after the children. But the male counterparts are allowed to go to school. This is the one thing we are still facing in Africa. It's not just Nigeria alone, also Africa. Then we have other factors also that are looking at this thing. They're also working against what the female in Nigeria. Political machineries. Several political parties don't even want to. They set high pricing for you to even, for a woman who is even willing to participate in politics. The amount of money for you to even buy their form to come under their platform. How many women can afford that? The political machineries don't even encourage women participation. I'm calling on everybody, if we want if we want development in Africa, then women must be supported. Women must not be silenced. Women must be supported. Then lack of commitment from even political parties. They will tell you that, you are free to come and contest. In the end, you will come out. Several women in Nigeria have come out and even tested the water. What happened? It is a men-dominated arena. In the end, you as a woman, you are not given the chance. Education, which plays a key role for any empowerment. I said it, and I've been saying it without missing word, that if Africa if we are ready for development, then the girl child must be involved, must be trained, must be educated. No wonder they say train up a woman. If you train up a woman, you have educated the whole nation. This can only development. Maybe no wonder I've been like wondering, why is Africa, why is my country, Nigeria, still backward in terms of development? Could it be that we are lacking? Could it be that we neglected the girl child education? Let's go back to the drawing board, and I'm calling on international organizations, NGOs. If actually you are concerned about development in Africa, then let's look at girl child education. It is a very serious matter. A situation where you say girls should not be educated. Girls that should go, a 13, 14 years old child is forced to get married. Instead of her to be in the classroom, she's forced to be into early marriage. How do you then think that this lady, this child, she will be in when she have bear children? How is she going to even educate them when she herself is not educated? Then there's even issues of gender and stereotypes, religion. This is another factor that has caused a serious concern for an African woman not to be empowered. Most people, because of stereotype, they say, why should I give a woman my job? Do you think she have the capability? Does the woman have the capability? Always considering a woman as what? A lesser gender. I don't want to know. I've always advocated for equity. Women should be given Right to education. It is our right in Africa. And if Africa really wants to be developed, then they have to go back to the drawing board and look at where the lapses where we have created by neglecting girl child education. Africa can only move forward if we look towards our education. Poverty. This is the serious point.
Thank you.
Poverty is ravaging in Africa. The high rate, when I say Africa, I make my case study from Nigeria where I come from. How many people can even afford 3 square meal in Naira as we speak in Nigeria? So not to even talk of going into getting empowerment. Some can't even afford to feed. Not to say, okay, not to talk about investing in, I say, well, let me get a skill or education. So I'm calling on international organizations such as us. Attentions must be focused on Nigeria. Bad government, in Africa, bad governance have actually made us to where we are. We are living in abject poverty. And any woman that have said, I have a voice, you struggle. We are in a situation where, as a woman in Africa or Nigeria, you struggle. As we are struggling to come out to make a name, to speak for the women's folks, the men-dominated society try by all means to pull you down. But notwithstanding, I want to say big congratulations to the the following African ladies. I look up to them as my mentors. One, the World Trade Organization, DG. I think is the name every woman, even some of my panelists here, you people can attest to it. Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. She's the World Trade Organization, DG. She has made a name for herself. I knew it was not easy, but I look at her as a mentor for every young woman that wants to from Africa. She's standing tall. Then Dr. Solange from Cameroon, who is doing a wonderful job in promoting and educating, empowering young women. Amina Mohammed, the Deputy Secretary General of United Nations. These women stood against all odds, have made a name for themselves and the other African women. So I must congratulate them on this International Women Day today. I congratulate every woman there. In my organization I work, I congratulate every woman in my organization, in the center where I work, in a hospital center. Every woman heading a department where I work, I know. I congratulate, so permit me to congratulate Christine Don is the Director of Planning. I congratulate her. Esther Bature, Director of Communication. I congratulate every woman in Africa. It has not been easy, but you people made a name. And I believe that the younger generation of girls coming behind us will actually appreciate you for standing tall in a society where they believe a woman role should just be in the kitchen. Thank you so much. I appreciate you people, and happy Women's Day.
Happy Women's Day to you too. And thanks for this so much energy and so much vibrance for speaking about women and girl child rights on all the SDGs. And we truly appreciate your voice on this, and you're raising voice on Africa region as well. This is very great to know about you. We are privileged to have you in this session. We have let me check. Okay, so here we are going to move towards our panel 2. So let me introduce my panelist for the panel 2. We have Aisha Khan, CEO of Innovative Solutions and Skyline Trading with us. Then we have Nayab Khalid, IIPL Global Peace Ambassador for Pakistan, Chairperson for Youth and Women Development Organization. We have Angel Maimo Nema. She's an IIPL Global Peace Ambassador for South Africa and a spokesperson for Africa as well. We have Lareeb Javed Rana. She is IIPL Director for Internships and lecturer at the University of Sakoda. And then we have Anika Dahwa, IIPL Global Peace Ambassador for Algeria. So let me start with Aisha Khan. welcome Aisha. Aisha, you are muted. Can you unmute yourself?
Hello. Assalamu alaikum. And hello to everyone. Thank you for having me on this wonderful, wonderful panel of such distinguished men and women. And I'd like to say International Women's Day to everybody. And it's our day. It's our day to celebrate and also cooperate and communicate with each other on our problems and how we can uplift ourselves. So first of all, I'd like to give a brief introduction of myself. I'm Aisha Khan. I am the founder of Skyline Trading and CEO of Innovative Solutions of Private Limited. I'm basically an entrepreneur. Sorry, I have a bad throat. I'm fasting. So I have won the 2019 Khadija Award for Inspirational Entrepreneur. I won last year the Women Entrepreneur of the Year Award. And this year in February, I have won the Climate Change Leadership Award. I am also members of excuse me, IWCCI, ICCI, and also I'm in various committees of Federation of Pakistan Commerce and Chambers. I am also the women head of All Pakistan Exporters Associations for Gemstones and also their chairperson for Government and Diplomatic Affairs. I'm also a humanitarian. I've also worked on climate change and education, and I'm also the vice president of PAC UK Business Forum. So now I can proceed on our topic. I have worked on women's issues for at least 10 years as a humanitarian. And since I come from Gilgit-Baltistan, it's a remote area, it's a backward area. So when I went to one of the regions, it's called Dyamar, where it's basically more known as Dyamar Bhasha Dam. There I found out women education in that district is 1%. So my mind just blew away. So I thought I'll have to do something about it. So I made the first all girls school in that area to uplift the girls over there. The local population were against it. They were strict, but because I'm from the region, so I convinced them. I had my male family members who helped me out. And then I'm proud to say that I built the first girls' school, and it's in media also. I can share it with people who want to. It came in media also. The print media. I can share it with people who would like to see. Apart from that, last year, October, I, along with a colleague, wrote the unprecedented first gender action climate change report on the region of Azad Kashmir, which was taken very well, and in COP29, which was in Baku last year, that was also shown there too. Sorry, September. That was also shown there too. So I'm working on different areas. I won't go into the business aspect of it. I'm an exporter basically, but because I'm involved in humanitarian work, I was also chosen as Global Goodwill Ambassador Pakistan in 2017 due to my humanitarian work. So I feel that in Pakistan, women have a lot of potential that we can all say. I have gone to the remote areas of Pakistan. I have seen women getting education in the mountains of Pakistan also, and the reason is in Pakistan we have lack of opportunities for girls and women. This is my observations. So what I told them as an entrepreneur, I told them, see, we are a developing country. We are a country of 250 million people. It is impossible for any country, even a developed country, to find jobs for each and every citizen. So I told them to come towards small businesses that I have seen many girls take up, and I'm a witness to that. I told them, go through social media marketing. Make a small product. You don't have to spend a lot of money, because this is a common perception that, oh, you to start a business you need a lot of money. No, I've seen university girls starting their own pages and working and getting some money. It's like it's your start to entrepreneurship, it's your start to financial independence also. So start one project. I know a girl, I can give you an example. She started with organic almond oil, which is from Gilgit Baltistan, and now she's gone up to that. A week back she told me she was in Islamabad, and she told me, I'm here to talk to some lady. Now I'm expanding my online business to organic makeup items also, and I was very happy to hear that. So that is the reason. Another thing, I worked in education. Just a lady before me from Nigeria, the good lady, she spoke so well. She said we need to educate girls, because I've been in this, I have been involved in educating girls. That is the first thing we can do. Another thing, when places like Pakistan, which have a kind of a conservative mindset, not everywhere, but generally we have in some areas, usually backward areas, we have to take on board the male members of family to give their daughters the independence to not just get educated, but also for her to go out and explore her own potentials, whether it's in a job, whether it's in a any kind of field, or she wants to start her own work. So these are the things that I've seen, that in many, I think 60% of Pakistanis, they do give that opportunity. But I focus on those people or those areas where this is not so prevalent. Apart where climate change is concerned, because I have worked extensively in climate change, I know that Pakistan is signatory to the Paris Accord, and we are also working on SDGs. For climate change is concerned, we are in the top 10 countries, which has in the world, which has been hit the most, which gets hit the most by climate change consequences or its repercussions. So what we do is, I'm working on greenhouses. I mean, the reason to teach and to give seminars to youth, especially to teach them how we can combat climate change. Like I was speaking in another conference that day, that even if we are brushing our teeth and we have the tap on, whether it's for 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes, we are literally wasting our resources. So you have to put the tap down, and then there are other ways of how we can conserve water. And pollution, we have solars now in Pakistan. Many homes in Pakistan have solar. So small ways how individuals and households use organic, don't waste food. These are the things how we can contribute towards climate sustainability in a more powerful way. These are a few of the things that I have worked on where humanitarian work is concerned, which is education, which is climate change, which is also empowering women in distant areas. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Aisha. It's a pleasure to have you here as well. Meanwhile, Nayab, join us. We will welcome Angel Maimo. Okay.
Okay. I am Angel Mayemuna Makonde. I am from South Africa, and I am a soon-to-be graduate in an international relation degree. I work with NGOs and namely Emulous Rivals and the Love of God Disability Foundation. So with Emulous Rivals, what we do is we host soup kitchens to disadvantaged communities, where they lack food, especially to children who live in households where they don't necessarily have access to healthy foods. And then with with the Love of God Disability Foundation, we work with people with disabilities in a disadvantaged community. Am I still audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Okay. So without wasting any more time, I'll just get into it. I'm going to speak on leadership and what it means to me. there's an African proverb that says, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. Yet for too long, especially in South Africa, young leaders have been taught to compete rather than to collaborate. But true progress can only be achieved in, it cannot be achieved in isolation, but it can be built through collective efforts, innovation, and a collective mindset in a sustainable future. And I want to bring it back to myself and how I wanted to be in leadership positions. In my journey into leadership, it was greatly shaped by the examples of my grandmother, a strong woman who taught me that leadership is not about status, but about service. And having been working in disadvantaged communities, I now understand that true leadership is about uplifting others. And it's funny because that realization became even clearer when my sister started her own NGO, and I came to understand through that leadership is also not about what you can achieve for yourself or gain for yourself, but it's about how you can how you can make and create opportunities for the people around us. So you see, being a leader can be viewed and defined in multiple ways. So what I love most about being a young leader is that we are uniquely positioned to drive change. We are not bound by outdated structures, meaning we can think outside the box. We are the disruptors, the innovators of a new era. And I'm very much aware that leadership today has nothing to do with just bold ideas. It requires things like sustainability to ensure that the impact that we make is lasting. It requires advocacy, speaking up for people whose voices are unheard. It requires influence, in a way that doesn't prioritize personal gain, but it how can I say it? How it transforms leadership in a way that prioritizes inclusion, equity, and progress. And I speak about this so passionately because through my work at a disability foundation, I experienced firsthand the power of a sustainable leadership, the power of advocacy, and generally speaking up for people who can't speak up for themselves. And having been working in a disadvantaged community, I now understand that innovation also is not about technology alone, but it's about creating or finding creative, practical solutions to real life challenges. And I don't know. I just speak passionately about this because I believe that more young people should stand up and hold hands together and, try and take up space as much as we can. It doesn't matter where you're taking up space, even if it's in the little environment. It's usually those little things that truly do make an impact, those little things that truly make a change globally, even, So, yeah, thank you very much. I don't want to waste any more time. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Angel. This is very nice to have you and have your voice here. And so, anybody wants to say something? Farzane, you want to speak something?
Yeah,
Okay.
yes. Do you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now. Your voice is clear.
Okay, yeah, thanks for your attention. And distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I would like to greet everybody and congratulate one of the greatest International Women's Day, all of mothers, especially mothers, holy women, ladies. We gathered today to discuss women values and nobility, humanity, which kind of needs more than ever, which is world peace. All over the world celebrate International Women's Day in a year. And actually, female always, every day need attention, respect, harmony, passion, love, mutual understanding, not only in a year. The conception of women is greatest actual problem in all of parents, as well as deals with modern women's conception in society, science, policy, politology, philology, economy, culture, literature, at home, in family, and other branches of in our contemporary life. The problems of modern women, feminism, social psychological freedom, and modernist attitude towards women in comparing them in society has been investigated typologically for revealing their common and specific features. And also modern women's moral, social, psychological role in modern Azerbaijan and world literature, especially in society, women issue completely presented as new science event of all the periods in Azerbaijan. Because women is a sacred, saint, highly precious, and suffering human being. Why God appeared to the woman in this world? What is the reason? What women believes in? To be an example, love and faith, return to love, the gender of modernity, male intimacy and Western or Eastern eyes, males and lovers, glory of women, of all these issues is very important for God appeared to women from love, passion, lust, and sensuality. What is the meaning of our sacred life? Love and religion. In fact, woman is the miracle of God. Love is the best feeling for women in this shortly life because pure women needs liberty, mutual same love in all over the world. And women is the greatest creativa in this world as a God. Modern women belongs to the brave new world, social, public life, false life, and moral spiritual life. Literary facts are revealed in the historically necessary ideological, aesthetic, and social spiritual preconditions, sources of appearance and development of the life. Generally, understanding of this process of world types of social and artistic thought and universal problem, which is considered the most important for the study of women's issue. Rich understanding of the situation which requires a review of issue. Yeah, and according the actuality of this conference is the national, spiritual, religious, moral, social, cultural, and philosophical, psychological, aesthetic thinking. Women's problems have been relevant in all periods. In addition to being very important in the life of society, women also play a major role in its development. Since an ancient times, intellectuals, writers, poets have always thought about the problem of attitude towards women, and they have consistently fought for women's freedom and independence. According to Zerdusht science, separated men and women is a combination of a single soul of community in the family the state gives rise to. And according to the ancient Greeks, the man is responsible for all disasters that befell the women's son. And Catharina is full of bad attitude and all the disasters opened his mouth and spread to the world. And according to French, she's human. Woman is a human, but she was created to serve man. This is French aphorism, yeah. And the main goal of this research was this conference is properly benefit from the differences existence in the society, social sphere to direct the frequency, amplitude of these differences for the benefit of the society. And I can say is in this generally, as long as these sociological abstracts are not given a perfect explanation, the mentioned topic must be given as a general background in literary studies. Also, that is why we use the theme of modern women in all of the Azerbaijan literature, world literature, or the other side in sciences, study in economy, policy, politology, and all of these chapters, branches of the life. In this chapter, in this conference, the role of women is a Western social, political science, philosophical thought, the philosophical psychological explanation of the relation between women and society, and the way Western thinkers think about the problem are discussed. Women were first given the right to vote in New Zealand in 1893. But Azerbaijan, the first democratic republic in the East, provided women with the right to vote and be elected with the Declaration of Independence in 1918. It should be noted that Azerbaijan women received the right earlier than the residents of a number of developed Western countries today. In our republic, women gained the right to be elected in September 1990 with the approval of proposals on equality in autumn session of the Parliament of Azerbaijan Democratic Republic. Women's philosophy, which historically very relevant in all periods, has always been in center of attention as the most universal and valuable topic of this time. And extremely natural over time, women has turned from an ordinary subject into philosophical problem and concept of work, of art. From this point of view, the evolution of the study topic in sample of the both literature, art, culture, and so on, etc. And we can say the image of intellectual women in modern society. It is mentioned that mother, social, political figure, example, Mehriban Aliyeva, Ganira Kashayeva, Leila Alieva, and unique first example of the image of Ganira Kashayeva, God bless, God colors her, and Leila Alieva, and so on. And first example of image of modern intellectual women as example to Eastern and Western women. And I can say the reflection of the problem of attitude towards women include valuable works of the world's writers and about women have included in the study about image and intellectual women in society. And also the First Lady, Mehriban Aliyeva, a patriotic lady, beautiful mother. She's a great example for women. And president of Mehter Aliyev Foundation, she said, all researchers believe that since the development of civilization, women have been dependent on men in almost all societies, regardless of religious affiliation or political structure. Currently, the world is entering such a period of its development that the ultimate goal is to change this situation. Success is changing the situation depends on many political, public, social, religious, and spiritual factors. But in the end, everything depends on us. The men or women living on this planet and has equality between these. And I looked through the free encyclopedia page is a category women Nobel laureates. This is non-diffusing subcategory Nobel laureates. It includes race, and I can say these names. Example, Nobel laureates ladies. Jane Addams, Svetlana Alexeyevich, Maria Curie, Caroline Petrosyan, Emmanuel Chapman, Shirin Ebadi, Selma Lagerlöf, and Nadia Murad, Mother Teresa, and Malala Yousafzai from Pakistan, and etc. I can say about Malala Yousafzai, she was born 12 July 1997 in Pakistan. And when she was elected Nobel laureate, she was 17 age. She is the youngest Nobel Prize laureate in history all over the world. And this lady is always defend human rights, advocate for education of women and children in her native homeland. And where Pakistan Taliban had times banned girls from attending school, her advocacy has grown into an international movement. And according to former Prize Minister, and I can say the way forward, the case of balancing the power equalization leadership and has never been more clear. And commit to gender parity in leadership, implement laws and regulations that guarantee a safe and open environment for women's participation and leadership, establish policies and practices that encourage women's leadership and promote gender parity, invest in and develop public services and programs that enable women to succeed as leaders, and enable and support women's organizations and movements, change the narrative of women in leadership, and confront social cultural differences of gender inequality. And women's love, self-sacrifice, honor, and justice exponentially were struggling to keep this work. In fact, according to Asian philosophy, the basis of everything is the realm. Woman's existence of the chance belongs on humanity generally, and morality, courage, and etc. And I'd like to say the secret world of women's heart awarenesses that has revealed, and an English writer, Virginia Woolf's work also, and a secret woman is a secret saint existence in the world as a god. Yeah, and I would like to congratulate again each of ladies, each of mothers, and thanks for your attention.
Thank you so much, Farzaneh. It's a pleasure to have you back, and you had a very beautiful messages along with you, appreciating all the girls and women from all the region. You presented all the case studies very well and very beautifully. So we have next Catharina. She's Global Peace Ambassador from Netherlands, IIPL with us. So let's welcome Catharina. Over to you.
Thank you very much for introducing me, and thank you for paying attention to and giving some space to talk today for me. And I would first like to address my respect to the chairman of the International Peace Leaders Institute, Mr. Muhammad Rehman. Thank you for having me here, and I would like to stay this whole journey, but unfortunately I'm at work right now. So, but I just have a little break, so that's for me a little opportunity to be here and to contribute a little bit to the female energy that is more necessary than ever on this planet. I think it's really wonderful to have you all here, and I would love to be able to get a live session on peace in the Netherlands, promoting the equality of the energies that men and females should merge more together to be more aligned, to be able to steer the world to prosperity and peace. And I would like to wish every woman all the best and a beautiful Women's Day. And I hope that we all unite our powers as universal sisters and brothers and realize that we are just one big family and we're all connected. And thank you so much for having me here, and I wish you all have a most wonderful day in peace, wishing love, joy, and harmony. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Katrina. Thank you for taking time out for us and to convey a beautiful message to all women and male participant in this session. We really appreciate to give us your special time to us. And Joy. Yes, you can speak now.
Okay. Thank you once again. I just wanted to add is forums like these are very important and very good. But I will encourage international organizations like ours. It's one thing formulating policies, it's one thing for us to discuss this. But the question bothering me is how do we then pass these messages? How do we implement this to get to the grassroots? And it took me to the point of monitoring. I will call on international organizations, NGOs, majority of us on this panel, on this live broadcast today, while you were introducing us yourselves, I've discovered that several of us here are into one humanitarian agency, NGO of the other. So I'm calling on us, if we really want the cause for women empowerment to be achieved, then it goes beyond just we discussing on platforms like this. We must also do what is called evaluating and monitoring. It's one thing United Nations even formulate policies. How do we even monitor if these policies are even implemented? These policies that affect the common cause of women or ladies are implemented. So I just want to remind us and to call on us, every noble woman on this discussion that is involved in the cause of peace, that we have to also go beyond just discussing on platforms like this. We must use our other platforms to get to the grassroots, where these messages are actually needed. The women at the grassroots are actually the ones that need these messages, that need to be empowered. And so if we create forums like this, we should also have an avenue. And then secondly, I think this is a noble cause, and I really appreciate the leadership of Global Peace for coming up with this broadcast. I think a lot has been going on, and a lot of crises. And I see a woman as the greatest advocate for peace. Look at the crisis happening is in Ukraine, Africa, South Sudan, Palestine, Israel. Everywhere in the world seems to be having one chaos, one crisis and another. So since today is International Women's Day, I'm calling on every woman that we must get ourselves involved in the cause of promoting peace. I strongly believe that a woman, both at home, at work, and even in the society, is the greatest asset when it comes to the advocates for peace. If peace must be achievable, if peace must be achievable, then all women must be involved in the cause of promoting peace. And that is why I'm saying those negotiating on the table of peace, those advocating, women should be involved, and such most of this education, and I'm also calling on the leadership to also like create more of this fora, maybe conferences, physical or even like the webinar, so that we can actually promote and talk about things that will bring peace. It's not just about a woman can be empowered in a society, and that woman, when there's chaos, how can that woman be able to function? When there's war, how can you function even if you're empowered? So what the world need now is peace.
I think there is an internet issue
And
at
every woman promoting peace, which is the greatest asset. Yeah, can you hear me?
yes,
Hello.
yes, we can hear you now.
All right, sorry. So I believe that if peace must be achievable, if peace in the world, in every continent is achievable, it boils down to us. I believe a woman is the strongest asset. It's the strongest asset for advocacy and dialogue and diplomacy, which I believe in the modern crisis management. These are the real tools, not carrying weaponry like gun or whatever. I believe in diplomacy, advocacy as the new the best way in management of crisis and war. And women must be actively, if we want a better society, if you want a better continent, a better world, then the women must be involved. We must put our hands on deck to get ourselves involved in the cause of promoting peace, in the cause of negotiating peace, in the cause of promoting peace. That is the only time the world can even be a better place for us to even be empowered. Look at what is happening in South Sudan. How can you even be empowered as a woman when you are running from scatter? Look at what is happening in Gaza. I believe that even those ladies who are even empowered can't function because there's crisis, there's war, there's this in Ukraine, in Russia. So I'm calling, today is International Women's Day, and I'm calling on every woman, every lady, every girl child. We must stand for peace. We must do everything for peace. That is the only way the world can be a better place. How do you do this? Love, let love lead. In everything we do, let Lord lead. We can start this by even starting from our homes. Let women should be involved in the cause of negotiating peace. I strongly believe that a woman is the best advocate when it comes to peace negotiation. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ainan, for motivating all the women and girls in the session, and of course, who will be watching our session later on. They will be really very grateful to hear you and your messages for all women. So we have our next guest. She is Dr. Asfa Bukhari. She's currently working in SK Livestock, which is our largest feedlot fattening and meat explorer. And the incredible thing about her is that she is giving authority and chances to other girls to pursue their veterinary careers. So let's welcome Dr. Asfa Bukhari. Over to you.
Thank you so much. It's an honor for me to be here on International Women's Day, a day that is not just about recognition, but about action to empower women and youth in leadership. As a veterinarian, meat scientist, and an animal welfare activist, my journey has been shaped by science, ethics, and you can say a deep responsibility towards food security, humane livestock management, and sustainable agriculture. I just want to highlight the critical role of women and youth in shaping the future of Pakistan, specifically agriculture, livestock sector, and feedlot farming industry that are not just the economic pillars, but essential to global food security and peace as well. If we talk about, like there is a saying, the hands that feed the world are mostly those of women. And in Pakistan, women make up nearly 70% of the agriculture workforce, and their contribution remain underpaid, undeserved, and unrecognized. So Pakistan's livestock sector contributes 60.5% of the country's total agriculture, and women perform over 90% of the livestock related activities in rural areas, like including feeding, milking, caring of animals. Like it's the statistics from FAO. And only 3% of the agriculture land is owned by the women. And they are limiting financial independence and decision-making power given to the women here in Pakistan. So there are challenges faced by the women in livestock leadership, uh, limited access to education, training, and cultural norms are here, lack of financial support for female farmers and entrepreneurs. So despite challenges, Pakistani women are leading change in the agriculture and meat sector. Uh, Women-led dairy corporation are here in Punjab and Sindh that are empowering female farmers by giving them control over milk production and their trade. Young Pakistani women in sorry, in veterinary sciences and meat technology are working to improve the meat quality. Like I belongs to the Livestock Pakistan, and this is the first company in Pakistan who is hiring female vets, and they are leading the feedlot farm wholly solely. So these women are great. They are leaders shaping the future of ethical and sustainable food production. So being women and youth, the livestock industry feed millions, but how we treat animal matter just as much as production. Pakistan is the 8th largest producer of beef and the 4th largest producer of milk in the world. So 90% of animals, they are transported to the slaughterhouses. They have experience. I would like to highlight like animal welfare as well here, being activists. So they are transferred to slaughterhouses, experience severe stress and poor handling as well. So the thing is, why is women's leadership is critical for animal welfare in Pakistan? The saying you can say in Pakistan, animal welfare in large scale farming and slaughterhouses often neglected, like poor transportation, harsh handling, and lack of humane feeding. But women and youth can change this. Women veterinarians and researchers are leading the change in human livestock handling. Animal welfare activists are pushing this for better legislation for like young professionals in the meat industry or the vets that are working in this sector are introducing scientific methods and ensure humane handling and rearing practices. So there is where women and youth must take the lead, not just in farming but in policy advocacy and industry leadership. So the thing is, there is no peace without food security and no food security without sustainability. So the women role in peace and food security leadership is inevitable. Studies shows that women participation in peace process agreements are 35% more likely to last long and at least 15 years for at least 15 years. So women-led agriculture projects have increased the food production efficacy by 30% globally. This is the data I've obtained from FAO. So educating and empowering women in rural areas can lift entire community out of the poverty. So women in agriculture and meat production are not just feeding the nations, they are leading efforts for economic stability and peace. So they are breaking the barriers, challenges. Some Despite their contributions, women in Pakistani agriculture and livestock sector face some challenges like lack of access to education, training, and animal sciences. Still, they have the concept that females should not go in this field. Cultural norms are there, like limited. I have told you that financial support. So, education and training, financial support, policy change must be there for women inclusion in agriculture, and women-led livestock and meat production businesses should be enhanced. When women lead in agriculture, families prosper, economies grow, and food systems become more sustainable. So there is a call to action. The question is, how do we move forward? Like from industries and academia, vets, STEM fields work. Leadership is not about waiting for opportunities, it's about creating them. So women don't just break glass ceilings, they build new bridges for the generations to come. So the conclusion, I must go for the conclusion. Let us not just celebrate the women in leadership, agriculture, and animal welfare. Let us empower them, invest in them, and give them the leadership roles they deserve. Because when women and youth lead, the future is ethical, sustainable, and strong. Thank you so much. This is all from my side.
Thank you so much, Dr. Asfa. It's very good to hear from you and how you're motivating other women and girls in Pakistan to pursue their career in the particularly livestock field and food security, of course. So Patricia Kabia, if you're back, so we will move to our panelist. Patricia Kabia, can you unmute yourself? Thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank you. So I was having a problem with the internet. I'm back.
It's okay.
And my name is Patricia Kabia from Sierra Leone, a civil society activist, media personality, and advocate for women empowerment and the Stability Act. Right. So my focus on making a political space more inclusive, especially for women and marginalized community. It's an honor for me to be here. I want to say Happy International Women's Day to you all. And then when we look at Sierra Leone, there has been a progress in women politics participation. For example, the Gender Equality and the Women Empowerment Act, which mandates that 30% of the government's position are held by women, as paving ways for female leadership in the peace building and governance and advocacy as well. But despite this promises development, many challenges remain. Women often facing cultures and social barriers and financial constraint, lack of support. In addition, political violence and intimidation, and discouragement from capable women from entering their political arena. Even with the GV Act, in the Act place, actually, female representative in the parliament is still below 20%, which show that more work is needed. And the situation is even more challenging for women with disability in Sierra Leone because they face double discrimination. You have to deal with both the gender barriers and thinking about the accessibility issue. So, and which means so many talented women are still exclusive from the key decision-making roles. So, what we need to change, we need a stronger implementation of the Jury Act to ensure that more women actually get elected. And then we need a training, a mentorship program to prepare aspirant women leadership. Because mostly some of them are looking low upon themselves because thinking about the discrimination and all the likes. So we need a greater advocacy to involve women with disability in all level, especially in governance. So I would like to expand my dose point because of whilst in Sierra Leone is making a progress, there is a long way to go. Even we want to inclusive politics, we need to create a leadership space that's accessible to everyone. As we normally say, leave no one behind. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Patricia. It's a pleasure to have you and struggling with the internet today. We are really very sorry that it's troubling you today on the very special day. But thank you for the beautiful messages. And so here we are going to conclude the panel sessions, and then we will move towards our suggestions and question and answer sessions. So it's we honor the women, all the women here right now who paved this way, stand in solidarity, who is fighting for education, equality, safety. I have been receiving messages from a lot of women here who are incredibly working in their respective fields and in respective countries, whether it's Asian country, whether it's an African country, whether it's an European country, and we incredibly really very proud to have you all here. So let's move toward some few messages or suggestions or questions if you have from the panel, esteemed panel, or the Secretary General, or the CEO of IIPL. We would love to have the question answers from you. So raise your hands and I'll call out. So each member will have will be equally encouraged to participate and say something. I don't think so. She's here. Yes, Aisha, you want to say something?
I would like to say something. Some of the ladies here mentioned about advocacy. I just wanted to add a little bit that advocacy, I can speak for Pakistan. It's one of the UN SDGs, UN's article which say that women should be part of every peace negotiation. A certain percentage of women should be part. I worked on Kashmir peace also between India and Pakistan, and over there I worked for 3-4 years on that, and we have gone to India and parts of India. We have had conferences there on a peaceful level, how we could Kashmir from Pakistan side and India side can come together as they are the same people. So where that is concerned, advocacy is very important. We have been advocating, we have been using diplomatic ways, and advocacy starts from home. We can work with our governments. We could work with international NGOs, and we can work with local NGOs. How we can advocate for peace, because peace is very important for all the world, and as the world knows, women make the best peacekeepers. So the way to advocacy is through our own channels and bringing international organizations together, and we have to have dialogue with our governments and international organizations who can be a third party, who can work as a mediator to bring warring countries, or two countries having conflict, and bringing them together. I think it's very important, and it's the duty of international community to bring peace and to mediate between all places where there is some sort of conflict in the world going on. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And you're very right. The world is right now very disturbing, whether it's a Middle East region, whether it's Africa region, whether it's a Asia region, and there are a lot of conflicts going on. There is a proxy war going on, and then there is another peacekeeping processes going on. So we definitely encourage everybody who is in their own fields, if they can do to, as just Aisha said, to advocate for peace, whatever they medium they want to use, whether it's a social media, whether it's their entrepreneur platforms, national platforms, global platforms, they should contribute. So let's move to any other participant who wants to say something. Arisha Naeem. Yes, Arisha?
Assalamualaikum, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Hi, everyone, and Assalamualaikum. First of all, happy International Women's Day from my side, and Ramadan Mubarak, to everyone who is fasting. This is Arisha Naeem from Pakistan. I'm an international relations student, and I would like to add something from my side. First of all, I would like to truly appreciate the passion of this panel and the discussion we had. The passion is very inspiring, and we need the same energy to reach more women in our communities. I would like to add that while we focus on breaking external barriers and advocating to men, we often overlook the need advocate to women themselves. Something that truly concerns me is seeing women criticize or discourage other women instead of uplifting them. I have personally witnessed this, and it's disheartening because as women, we should be each other's biggest supporters. If we truly want progress, we must foster a culture where women empower and uplift one another rather than tearing each other down. Change, as we say, change starts from within, and unity among women is just as crucial as external advocacy. And I thought I should add a bit on that as well. That's from my side. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Arisha. Kurutulan, you want to share something about Women's Day and what your message on Women's Day?
Yes, Sira, I'm here. Am I audible to everyone?
Yes, you're audible.
Thank you. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. And thank you for joining us in this. First of all, happy International Women's Day to all, inspiring women and sharing us their valuable remarks and insights. And thank you, Hira, for hosting this.
Okay, thank you so much. Do you have any message for International Women's Day?
Yeah, sure. Today, we recognize the vital roles women play in shaping our families, communities, and nations. We acknowledge their strength, resilience, and determination in the face of adversity. From the women who have paved the way for further generations to those who continue to push boundaries, we celebrate them all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kurutulan. So,
Hello, dear friends. I am Vera Paja from Albania, Ambassador of Peace for Human Rights. Congratulations to the women who fight for human rights on the occasions of 8 March. A deep tribute and gratitude to the brave women who fight every day for human rights, just inequality, and the dignity of every individual. You are the voice of the unheard, the power exchange, and the hope for fair words. Your sacrifice, dedication, and courage are an inspiration for the present and future generation. In every change you face, know that the world needs you and your cause. My strength and hope also accompany you. Happy 8 March, the day of women. We change the world. With respect, Vera Paja from Albania, Ambassador of Peace for Human Rights.
okay, it's a pleasure to have you all here. It's truly overwhelming and like emotional moment for us to see that there were around 40 people were around us, and now we have a good number as well as a participant. So, Miss Maria Veneke, you can have your concluding remarks, and then we will end this session.
Okay. As we celebrate International Women's Day today, let's remember that this is not just a day of recognition, but also a call for action. So women around the world continue to break barriers, lead change, and shape a more just not equal society, but there is still work to do. So let's commit and then support each other by lifting women in leadership, and politics and every space where decisions are made. Together we can create a future where every woman voice is heard and valued. Happy International Women's Day.
Happy International Women's Day. Let's break barriers and rewrite narratives and build a future where every woman can rise without limits. And happy International Women's Day. Have a nice weekend. Have a great weekend. And happy Ramadan to all celebrating. And pleasure to have all the panelists and all the females in this session and male participants too. Thank you so much.